Hey, and welcome into our home. If you are tuning in with us live, welcome. If you're watching us on the replay, welcome. And we're going to get started. So tonight is a 1-hour session, or today, whatever time of day that you're watching. We're going to start off with some centering and pranayama. So get a comfy seat, and we will do the same. So for those of you who have not watched our videos before, I'm Caryn. This is my husband, Brett, and he does all the poses for the most part because I'm very pregnant and there's some of these that I can't stay in for long holds. And if you don't know, in Restorative, we hold poses for a little bit longer, a lot longer, than what you might be used to. So find a comfortable seat. Make sure you've got the fatty tissue out from under you so that your sitting bones are all the way down on the earth. Yes, good job, buddy. And then we'll start to just find the breath. So we'll let the eyes close and start to notice the breath. Notice where the breath is moving smoothly through the body today, and where maybe there is breath getting caught in the body somewhere. And you might notice after a few breaths that because you've settled in here after a long day or at the start of your day, whenever this may be, you might notice that you just naturally are allowing a little bit longer than normal breath. Maybe you've just settled into your breath for the first time in the whole day. We're just allowing longer breath if it comes. We're not forcing a deeper, longer breath. Tonight, we'll move into some alternate nostril breathing. And to do that, you'll use your right hand, your thumb, and your ring finger. So it's kind of awkward. So your first finger and your middle finger, you can either have them resting on your third eye, or you can have them down in between your fingers. You'll have your thumb and your ring finger on the outside of your nose, and we'll be plugging nostrils as we inhale and exhale. So you'll plug the right and inhale through the left to start. Plug the left as you exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Plug the right and exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Plug the left and exhale through the right. So continue this, and if you're kind of getting caught up in it, you only switch the plug when you're about to exhale. So you're inhaling through the left, exhaling through the right, inhaling through the right, exhaling through the left. And you just plug the opposite nostril that you're not inhaling or exhaling through. So we'll do a few more cycles of this, and a full cycle begins on inhaling through the left and ends through exhaling through the left. So that's a full cycle. The next time you exhale through the left nostril, let the right hand fall back down to the knees, palms facing up if you can. And when you do this practice by yourself, you might notice on days where you're a little more tense, your shoulders are creeping up as you're doing this practice. So just gently be aware of that and allow them to soften. You might even roll them down and back. But this is a good practice anytime you're anxious, anytime that you are maybe on the opposite end of the spectrum, maybe a little bit low energy, sad. This is a good evening out breath. So it brings you back to center. So at this point, hopefully you've noticed maybe some change in your breath between now and when we started. You might do a few more rounds at this point if you would like to, just to get in some practice while you're thinking about it. And otherwise, just start to notice the breath now, where it is. And when you become ready, just bring the palms together at the heart and gently bow the head. I always like to start our sessions with gratitude. So think of maybe anywhere from 1 to 4 items that would be on your gratitude list today. It doesn't have to be complex. It can be as simple as a cup of tea, and then we'll take in 3 big breaths of gratitude. Inhaling gratitude and exhaling anything that is no longer serving you. And then inhale the fingertips all the way up to the sky. Separate the palms. Exhale that left hand down, right hand up and over. Take some big breaths into the right lungs. The collective right lungs, not that you have 2 right lungs. The next time you inhale, bring everything back up to the center and exhale to the other side. Do that every time. The next time you inhale, come all the way up to the center. And exhale, find your forward fold today. The next time you inhale, lift the torso and the fingertips all the way up with you. And exhale, twist to your left. Bring that right hand to your knee, left hand behind you. Keep lengthening through the torso. Keep the chin level parallel to the earth. Gently looking over that back shoulder. Take a long inhale, lengthening the spine even more. And as you exhale, sweep the arms all the way back to center. Drop the shoulders if they're tempted to come all the way up, and exhale to the other side. Ooh, excuse me. All right, take a long inhale, and as you exhale, sweep the hands all the way back to the front. Take an inhale here, dropping the shoulders, and then exhale the palms to the heart. Go ahead and switch the cross of your legs. We'll take one more forward fold, but with the uncomfortable side foot in front. So inhale the palms straight back up towards the sky, separate, and exhale, fold forward. We'll take 5 breaths here, just like we did the last forward fold. Next time you inhale, lift the torso and the fingertips and arms all the way back up. Exhale the palms to the heart. Go ahead and make your way into the tabletop. Find 3 to 5 cat-cows today. As you inhale and exhale, be sure as best you can to follow your breath rather than following your body with your breath. So we don't want your breath to try and catch up to your body. Inhale as you drop the belly and lift the heart. Exhale as you reach the spine towards the sky. So now we'll incorporate child's pose. Inhale, lift the heart, drop the belly. Exhale, curl the spine all the way back to child's pose. And I'm going to let you watch. Brett, if you need to. Because I have to do a lot of movement to get into child's pose. So we'll do this about 5 more times. And as you notice, he's just letting his breath move his body. So the inhale floats him back up. And the exhale curls him all the way back to child's pose. And it's not a perfect child's pose. It's kind of an in-between motion. So just let this be however you need it to be. If you want it to be an extra breath in child's pose, add that in. And eventually land in child's pose just for 3 breaths or so. All right, so inhale back up and come to a seat. Grab a block. Hopefully you've checked out the prop suggestion list at the bottom, at the description of the video. Grab a block and a blanket. So I recommend placing a blanket over the block anytime you're holding fish for an extended amount of time. So you'll lay back onto this block and blanket with your heart being lifted more than anything else. So open your arms out just so we can see. His block, this is all blanket right here. His block is actually starting right about where his bra line would be if you wore a bra. So, and then the top of the block is about at the top of his shoulders. So you're going to open the arms out wide. It doesn't have to be quite as wide as he has them. It can be a little lower. But we want the legs just stretched out long for now. If you really would like your legs in butterfly, just make sure there's support under the knees. There's no reason to have, or it kind of goes against restorative to have your body unsupported in these poses. So you want to make sure there's maximum support. So place blocks or blankets under the thighs if you want your legs in butterfly. Take a long breath in and a long breath out. And when your body and your breath are ready for movement, gently roll to one side until you're off of the props. And then remove the props out of your way when you're ready. And you'll lay back onto your back, flat on your back. For now, just take a few breaths completely flat on the earth, feeling that big space we just created behind your heart. That supported fish pose is really a heart opener, but also opens the neck and the throat. So it can also bring up maybe something that you've been wanting to say or some way that you've been feeling unheard in your life. And then bend the knees and bring the feet to the mat and let your knees fall side to side. Get your hands and arms out of the way as best you can. We'll just windshield wiper the knees as much as you feel necessary. For some of us, we can just do this for 5 straight minutes. So if that's what you need, pause the video and do that for a little while. And then some time after the next couple breaths, bring yourself back to center. Get the block that you had. And if you prefer, this one can be done with just a rolled up blanket as well. We'll come into a supported bridge, bringing the block or the blanket under the sacrum. We will be here for an extended hold, just like the other restorative poses. So if you'd rather a blanket so that you're more comfortable, do that. If you can stand it, let the palms face up for this pose. This is a receiving motion. Take a long breath in, a long breath out. As your body and your breath are ready for movement, take a long inhale to lift the hips up off the block, and as you exhale and remove the block, slowly lower the hips. Let the knees open out into butterfly. And if you feel compelled, you can bring the left hand to the heart and the right hand to the belly. At some point in the next few breaths, you might be ready to let the knees move side to side once again. You can either walk the feet slightly away from each other with the knees still bent, or you can keep the feet pretty close. You'll just let the knees move side to side. And then at some point in the next few breaths, you'll gently roll to one side and make your way up to a seat. Find your bolster or whatever you're using to substitute for a bolster, and place it long ways on the mat. And you'll have your right thigh, no, you're right. Your right thigh parallel to the short side of the bolster. Place one hand on either side of the bolster, and when you're ready, gently melt all the way down. For the first few breaths, we'll turn the head the opposite direction of the knees. And if you need support between the knees or under the hips, be sure to bring a blanket in between the knees or place a blanket across the mat underneath you if you are feeling some heaviness in the hips today. Go ahead and turn the head to face the same direction as your knees, and let everything melt away. You might bring to mind, just for a breath or two, those first couple of items on your gratitude list, and just send them some breath. Take in a long inhale and a long exhale. When you're ready, gently make your way to the other side. Turning your head away from your knees for the first few breaths. If you feel up to it. If not, don't worry about it. Turn your head the same direction as your knees and let everything melt away. You might think of those other two items or last one item on your gratitude list and just bring them gently into mind. Send them a little bit of breath. Take a long breath in. Let a long breath out. When your body and your breath are ready for movement, gently press your way up to table. Just take a few very easy, slow cat-cows. And then when you're ready, you'll be making your way to the wall, bringing a couple of blankets and a strap with you. And if you don't have a wall, we'll be putting legs up the wall. If you don't have a wall accessible, you can use a dresser. You can place your legs on a couch or up the back of a bed or dresser, or be creative. Any kind of eye, you'll have some support to keep your legs up. So the easiest way is like what Brett's doing, is to come onto your side and then roll your way up. And we'll be using that second blanket for under the sacrum today. You can use a bolster if it is a little bit lower, but you'll lift the hips and just place that blanket down and then scoot yourself back up towards the wall. Now this depends on your comfort level. If it's not comfortable on your thighs and calves to be that close to the wall, you can be a little bit separated from the wall. And then the strap you're going to place around your thighs. You can place it around the calves, that's okay too, but this is not meant to be tight. And you can just tie it, or you can loop it the traditional way, whatever is easiest for you. If you don't have a strap, a tie, or a belt, or even a non-stretchy scarf can work. And then with the arms, if it feels okay on the shoulders, loosen that a little bit. And then bring it down a little more. There you go. The arms can be in a cactus if it feels okay on the shoulders. If it doesn't, you can just bring it out into a T. Take a long breath in. Let a long breath out. When you're ready for movement, take your time. Bring your knees into your chest. You might at this point remove the strap, or you might wait a minute. And you can roll to the side off the blanket, or you can lift the hips. So you might extend the legs to do this, but you can lift the hips up off the blanket and remove it before rolling to the side as well. So you have two options here. And then come up to a seat, find your bolster, take it easy. Get 2 blocks, your bolster, and a blanket if you'd like a little more support under the head. So you'll put 1 block tall, 1 block medium. If you only have books, you can just stack a couple of books like this, and that'll do the trick, or just a couple of books back to back like this. Place your bolster on your blocks. And then for this, you'll need 1 blanket around your feet. If you want another blanket for under your head, just for some extra support, you can do that too. So you'll wrap a blanket around your feet and under the calves. This is to support the legs. So you may have to roll the blanket up to do this. You'll just pull it under and through. And then lay back. Let the palms face up. Let everything go. And if you don't feel absolutely supported, get whatever additional support you need, whether that be something under the forearms, something under the head. Take a long inhale and a long exhale. And as you become ready, gently press your hands into the earth and push yourself up to a seat. Remove the blanket and we'll come to a cross-legged seat. We'll close out now, but if you'd like to end with a traditional Shavasana, you can, at the end of this video, go ahead and lay back down on the mat, flat on your back, with or without a bolster under your knees. But at this time, we'll bring the palms together at the heart and gently bow the head. Go back to that gratitude list and take in 3 breaths of gratitude. Exhaling anything that no longer serves you. Namaste. Thank you all for joining us, and I hope that we'll see you again very soon. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. The Instagram page that goes along with this for announcements and information is Yoga with Caryn, and the Facebook page is Yoga with Caryn Bowles. So come and find us, and we look forward to seeing you again very soon.